and Mike Lissette. Happy game day, guys. And I can imagine it's windy out here. It's probably not windy in studio, and it's probably a lot warmer.
Yeah, it is very toasty in here. And happy game day to you, Carla, and Gabe as well. Al, I got to be honest with you. Seeing that you have history with both Carolina and Philly, I thought you'd be in Philly today.
Yeah, I would have loved to be back in the city of brotherly love, but I became an NFL football player in the city. But more importantly, I became a dad. So I'm back here in Charlotte celebrating the 24th birthday of my oldest child, my daughter, Savon. Happy birthday, Savon.
Well, happy birthday to her, and it's good to have you here. Well, right now in the Carolina locker room, they are talking about one word, and it is finish. Just like in one of Philly's favorite movies, Rocky, the Panthers are focused on going bell to bell, something they did not do last week. If you recall, for a brief moment, 30 seconds to be exact, it appeared the Panthers were closing in on what would have been their fourth win of the season. But, much like the week prior against the Chiefs, self-inflicted wounds hurt Carolina down the stretch against Tampa. With a number of close calls in crunch time, recently the guys say it's a matter of learning how to keep pushing to the very end.
Live in games.
All right, so I got the list right here. All the things they did wrong. Between the red zone shortcomings, not extending drives on third downs, and giving up leads late, which of those is the biggest concern for Carolina going into this game?
For me, as well as the offense has played, Mike, it's going to be the red zone concerns. It's the lack of ability to put the ball in the end zone. 3 points is not going to be good enough to beat a team like the Philadelphia Eagles. And if the Carolina Panthers want to take the next step on offense, it's scoring 6 points and not settling for 3.
Which of those is the easiest to fix?
I think third down, right? Being good on first and second down when you're coming up short on third downs, it means you haven't done enough on first and second down. So that's getting back to the basics, handing the ball off to Chuba Hubbard and Jonathan Brooks, newly in this offense. It's being good on first and second down early in the drive.
So basically you don't want to show any mercy in the city of brotherly love. You don't want to extend the kindness there, right?
No brotherly love here today.
Well, we're going to show some brotherly love right now and toss it back to the city that made that famous. Gabe and Carla, back to you in Philly. Here in Carolina, there was a front office shakeup this week. Christy Coleman, the Panthers team president, is now also Tepper Sports CEO. In a statement, David Tepper said, quote, "Christy is a proven leader with insight and expertise to guide us through this pivotal moment in our evolution," end quote. Coleman will report directly to Mr. Tepper. Coleman originally joined the Panthers in 2014 as a finance controller. With her promotion comes other changes as well. Joe LeBou is now out as Charlotte FC president. He will transition to a consultant role. Well, how can this not be the play of the game? 30 seconds left. Bryce Young steps back and steps to the pocket on a nice block from Robert Hunt. Finds a wide open Adam Thielen 25 yards down in the end zone for the score. That gave the Panthers the lead late in the fourth quarter against Tampa. Al, how did this one transpire?
I mean, you just look at Bryce Young. He just has a great sense of pocket presence right there to step up, eyes down the field, and deliver a strike to Adam Thielen. And an A+ from my son on the gritty there, Adam. Good job.
There you go. Al and I are going to continue going over the game plan, but Gabe and Carla, it is now time to talk about another Panthers wideout who's helped make Bryce a lot better.
Mike Lissette got a little sneak peek into one Charlotte studio earlier this week.
Yeah, Gabe, it is week 14 in the NFL, but for one Charlotte couple, this is it. They call it their Super Bowl. They've been putting in the hours, cutting no corners, and sparing no expense. It's their time to shine, and while they do make a profit, it is all for a greater good. You'll have to forgive the Griffins. Though they're big football fans, they're always a bit distracted whenever there's a Panthers game on TV.
The whole time I'm always like, oh, look, they're on the sideline now. Like, there's one.
Learn more about how they're making a difference.
There have been a lot of those moments recently. With the NFL in the midst of its 2-week My Cause, My Cleats campaign, the Griffins have seen their work displayed all over the country. But it has not been easy.
We nap in shifts, and that's how we've kind of been getting through this.
The fun got started in October. That's when the first player call came into the studio. Their custom shoe business in Charlotte they opened just last year.
We did a couple here or there.
But then came another call, the call. It was from the Panthers, and they wanted shoes for all of their coaches. And oh yeah, they wanted them fast.
We did 29 pairs in 24 hours, which in our industry, from talking to other artists, is something that's never been done. in that quick of a turnaround for that large of an order.
In the end, the Griffins just couldn't say no. This was their time for their art to go on display, all while bringing awareness to causes important to Carolina players like Trevin Wallace, Miles Sanders, and J.J. Jansen.
Being able to outreach and bringing acknowledgement to a bunch of different awarenesses just through our art, and with the NFL giving us, their platform to do so is incredible.
Like the Mona Lisa, it's a sight to behold.
We sat there and we lined them all up next to our Christmas tree, and just looking at them, it was like, wow.
Certainly something worth a second look,
We truly are making a difference out there on the field.
even with a big game going on. Starting price for the Griffin shoes during My Cause, My Cleats was $350. They say they made 42 shoes, and while they're excited to see the players wear them on TV, the best part is when the game-worn auctions are chosen by each player and auctioned off. And as we look across the link, we're focusing in on where the camera's now the red zone. That means no more field goals. We'll talk about that when Black and Blue Live continues. Philly loves a good underdog story. They have Rocky, but Carolina has Bryce.
It's a touchdown, Panthers!
Just like Balboa, Young's been battered and bruised, but he's still here, ready for another round.
There's no finger pointing. We just got to execute. We got to find ways to get 7.
Today, he'll get one against one of the league's hottest teams. The Eagles have won 8 in a row. Will today be 9? Here comes our haymaker. Black and Blue Kickoff Live starts now. And Al, 5 seasons in Carolina, 3 in Philly. Are you okay? Are you being torn up inside right now by the conflict of where you stand?
No, I'm not torn up, because the last time I left the link, I left as an NFC champion. So great memories there for me, of course, starting my career with the Eagles. But more importantly, I kind of got the last laugh. They gave up on me, and Panthers gave me a second chance.
Well, there you go right there. Time to get to the 3 keys. This is, I guess, what you call the Al Wallace Classic. Is that what you want to call this?
Let's do it. Let's
the
name
Al
it
Wallace Bowl. The first key, obviously the most obvious, but it needs to be said. You're thinking they got to find a way to shut down Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, let's start right with the defense. They're going to have the toughest task of the day, and that's stopping arguably one of the best players in the NFL right now, and that's Saquon Barkley. They got to do a good job of tackling Saquon, getting him on the ground. Important run fits, yes, but the key to this is making sure you get a body on them and wrapping up. It's the second level guys, the linebackers, the safeties, the cornerbacks. When you get a shot, you got to get them on the ground.
I like it. All right. His second key is find a way to create turnovers. Now, there is a direct correlation with the turnover ratio to winning, and on the season, the Eagles are +3 while Carolina is a -4. You're a D lineman. You're looking for some strip sacks today, right?
We're looking for some strip sacks. DJ Wanham has to get to Jalen Hurts. You'll love to see guys like J.C. Horn get their hands on the ball as well. So when you get the opportunity, and there are always 2 or 3 in an NFL football game, you got to come away with the turnovers. Get the ball back to Bryce Young, Dave Canales in this offense.
All right, you talk about Bryce Young. Third and final key here, the red zone results need to change on offense. Carolina is currently ranked 17th in the league in red zone scoring. They're coming away with points in 54% of chances, but now they're getting 3 instead of 6 in a majority of its trips within the 20.
Yeah, they've been able to, the Panthers have, drive the ball down the field. They got to get this running game going. 12 touches for Chuba Hubbard is not enough. I know you're trying to get Jonathan Brooks some more touches in this offense, but when you get down to the red zone, the way you beat teams, good teams like the Philadelphia Eagles, is by scoring touchdowns. Get 6 points. Settling for kicks is not going to be good enough today against the Philadelphia Eagles. This is one of the best rosters, the best teams, best offenses in the NFL. Take advantage of getting down in the red zone and scoring.
Well, there you have it. 3 keys for the Panthers to ground the Birds in the Al Wallace Bowl. Can we get a sponsor for this? I think we got to do that.
Yeah, this is our pitch right here to get a sponsor for the Al Wallace Bowl.
Let's send it back to Philly, where Gabe and Carla are braving the elements at the link. Today in Philly, we'll see an old friend. Current Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio is actually the Panthers' inaugural DC. Working under now Panthers special assistant Dom Capers. He took them to the Super Bowl in the team's 2nd season. Since then, he's had quite the run and is on a crash course for another Super Bowl appearance. Now with the Birds, he's got a very young and very stout defense. Here's how he feels about going against Bryce and the Panthers today.
Just in the full operation of
All right, so Al, out of all the teams that Fangio has coached, what's the common denominator among his defenses?
That they're absolutely going to get after you. He's going to craft up a defense that is going to be aggressive. They're going to take away the thing you want to do the most. And you heard him there. It's Chuba Hubbard. It's the running game. It's how this offensive line is played today. So for Vic, man, he's going to bring it. He's going to load that box and take away Chuba Hubbard.
Here's the real question, though, and I'll toss it back out to Gabe and Carla for this. What do you think Fangio would do with a guy like J.C. Horn on his squad?
Yeah, he'd probably be counting his blessings because it is no secret